Hi everyone, my name's Abby and welcome to Brown and Bougie, the podcast about me, a brown girl living in a bougie world.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Brown and Bougie. So today, as you can tell, I've got a special guest with me. Anedra's here to talk about her page about wellness and all things good for our lives, pretty much. So I'm actually going to let Anedra introduce herself. So Anedra, please let us know about yourself and why you sort of started talking about things like wellness.
Hi, I'm Anedra. I'm a dentist. People probably know me by the person that started the page on health. I started it about 5 years ago. It's been on and off, but I started it to kind of put, evidence-based, science-based health research out there. It's a very kind of saturated industry where there's a lot of kind of false information around. So just kind of put evidence-based stuff out there and also just to blog, be kind of real and genuine about certain feelings that I'm going through. So yeah, just overall wellness.
Great, because I think the concept of wellness is sometimes taken too broadly or too narrowly. The concept of well-being, there's well-being in, there's mental based well-being, there's physical well-being, financial, the list is endless. And I feel like people think, oh, it's well-being, so it's only about our bodies, but it's not actually like that. It's, there are basic things like eating good food and things like that people forget. So I completely agree with you. So in terms of your page, how did the transition from, you studying dentistry to sort of come to this page in terms of actually just giving people the facts? And in terms of your facts, where do you get them from?
So I went straight from school into university to study dentistry. Wasn't actually that keen to go to university. Okay. Obviously coming from a Tamil background, and my parents were like, what are you saying? You need to go to university.
Yeah. I think we've all been there.
And then, so when I was applying, I think my best friend at school was applying for dentistry. So I was like, okay, I'll just apply for that. So I applied to go to university, but my plan was to just, gain some social experience in the first year of uni, have fun, and then call it quits and leave.
Okay,
I really
fair enough.
With it during my first year of university. I was kind of socialising quite a bit, doing a lot of dancing, ended up being in second year. And then things started to get quite tough. I didn't have the dental knowledge. I felt like everyone in my peer group was really passionate about dentistry and knew what it was, and I didn't. But from a young age, I've always kind of been into looking into food and what kind of effects it has on us. Thinking back, I was that weird kid that would always be like, okay, to have this amount of fruit, this amount of veg, I don't eat too much meat. Like, I was a strange kid. My mum, to this day, is quite annoyed by me because I'm always too conscious and you can't have this, you can't have that. So yeah, I think it's something that I've always really been into.
Yeah.
I think it first started when I was in primary school. We had this really lovely nutritionist come in and talk to us about good for us, what's not, how to do 5 a day.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I remember thinking she was quite cool and she was pretty good looking. I was like, oh, I want to be like her. She's cool. I think that's where it all started.
Yeah, when you're little, that's what you see, isn't it? You see that for face value, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
And I was like, oh, it must be all of the food that she's eating to take care of herself. I want to be like her.
Which is true. I mean, it is somewhat true, isn't it? Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I think for me, even looking at myself, I think the way I look has really changed over the years. When I look after myself, I can see that visually as well, even though that's a thing. I feel good on the inside and I feel that I look good on the outside.
Yeah.
It's a personal thing, but I think it really shows inside out. So in my, I think 3rd year or 4th year, I could tell that my passions weren't with dentistry, and I decided to do a course through the Health Sciences Academy.
Okay, that's cool.
In nutritional therapy. And so that took about 3 months. It was something that I did on the side. It was an online course essentially, but it was really thorough. So I went ahead and did that and learned a lot and just kind of really learned about how the food that we eat literally goes into our bodies. It changes our DNA, whether that's good food or bad food. And it literally blew my mind how the food that we eat can literally change our DNA and how.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, all of the illnesses that we see today, it can literally be prevented if we really take care of ourselves, if we educate ourselves in what we're putting into ourselves on a daily basis. Because if you think about it, it's after air, food is something that we have so regularly, so frequently. It makes sense to really know what we're putting into ourselves and what effect it is having directly in our body. So it's something that I feel really passionate about.
Good. Yeah, because it's interesting that you were saying about the sort of immediate effects of good or bad food into our body. And actually, even for me personally, you know, the food I used to eat when I was a student was, you know, pot noodles and canned soup and things like that, because it was just the easier thing to eat, McDonald's, blah, blah, blah. And actually now I'm, you know, I eat a lot healthy and I can completely tell a difference. But the biggest problem I think personally I've had, and I think a lot of brown people, not just Tamil people, have at home, is actually trying to balance your parents' food against the food that you want to eat because it's cleaner. And it's really weird. I was actually talking to my cousin literally about 2 days ago, and we were saying how, you know, our parents did long hours in the day. They woke up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and, you know, they'll go and do agriculture and things like that. And the food that they eat, so, you know, they'll have like heaps of rice and puttu and idiyappam and all this stuff. And if I was to eat that, hey, I'm going to fall asleep. Whereas for them, that's the norm, because they needed that energy to get them through the day. Right. And that's what the biggest argument I have with my parents is. My mum will be like, why are you always eating salads? Like, you know, where's the nutrition in that? I was like, no, it's very healthy for you. Just because I'm not adding rice, it doesn't make it unhealthy. And that's what we've got to, you know, that's the conversation. And
that's a huge misconception that, especially with our parents, that the more you eat, the better it is for us, which it's not. It's not quantity over quality. You need to be careful about what you're putting into yourself. Like you can have a whole bowl of rice and a curry and that not have as much nutrition as a nice salad with, you know, some oily fish or something like that. Like quantity really doesn't mean anything these days, especially. And I think we also need to be aware of what the food is doing to us, because I think it's the same with our parents. They will have a whole bowl of rice, a whole mountain of rice after a hard day at work. But they'll want to fall asleep straight after as well, and you don't want your food to be doing that. So if you've had a bad day at work or quite a tiring day at work, you want to, you know, give yourself enough energy and nutrition to recover, but you don't want to, you know, put straight to sleep. That's not a healthy way.
No.
So I think it's, just looking at what you're eating and what effect it's having on you directly. Some things are just so obvious, but are so normalized that, okay, no, you're meant to feel sleepy after a meal. No, you're not meant to feel sleepy after a meal.
Absolutely
That's not cool.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the biggest misconception I've seen, that actually, you know, like it's okay to have lots and lots of rice in a day and, you know, things like that. And I think I saw a stat somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it takes almost, I think like 3 to 4 hours for carbs to digest in your body. So actually, you know, if you were having rice at 8 o'clock, technically, like you probably should give it 3 or 4 hours before you go to sleep. But I know that most Tamil people I know in the old generation, like pretty much have like some rice for dinner and they literally fall asleep within the next hour. But and then, you know, and then you can't complain about, oh, it's putting on weight, or, you know, I've got cholesterol and things like that. You know, you've got to think about what you're doing to your body, isn't it?
That it's not just carbs, it's anything that you eat. It takes a good few hours for it to
okay. All right. So I've also noticed on your page that you talk a lot about veganism. Again, a really big thing. I personally don't know many Tamil people who are vegan. I did try it for a very short period of time and I really struggled personally. But what do you feel are the benefits? Because I know obviously you've eaten meat in the past and things like that. So for you, what's the biggest difference in terms of that change from moving to eating meats to veganism? What's the difference and why did you do it?
Yeah. So I have kind of dabbled with veganism a few times, but I'd say last year I watched a documentary called Game Changers. I'm not sure if you, and it talked a lot about how meat and dairy products create a lot of inflammation in our body. So it basically, they carry out a load of scientific experiments within the documentary. It's a really good documentary. And it talks about how animal products, our bodies see it as a foreign object. So it creates inflammation within our body. So if you think about, you know, transplanting a pig's organ into your body for whatever reason, there's going to be some inflammation, some resistance against that, because it's not what our bodies are naturally made to process and use. And it talks all about how our bodies are meant to be run on essentially plant-based food. That's what our bodies run best on. And when we're consuming animal products, we can, you know, digest it, but it creates a lot of inflammation, a lot of kind of fire in our body. And it just broke down everything so well. And it was scientifically based that. And then I did a bit more research into stuff, looked at various doctors and their kind of interviews and podcasts and certain things. And it was really clear that the evidence shows that all animal products, and that includes eggs, fish, poultry, red meat, it creates inflammation within the body. There's a compound called TNAO. We have any animal products, and that is what is causing in our bodies, and it's
Yeah.
kind of cumulative, and it builds up over time and leads to chronic diseases in the future. And if you've, spent the past 25 years of your life having meat products, so that documentary was, I'd say, the most crucial thing that happened to me that made me want to go into veganism, and then looking into it more, the benefits for the environment, for the animals themselves. And it was just kind of a culture that I really liked, where it was like very caring about people, animals, and I just wanted to throw myself into it. I started watching a lot of kind of cooking shows and recipes on how to make fun things, creative with your cooking. So it just seemed like a fun thing to try. And then once I got into it, I got really into it.
Yeah.
But this is something that I feel like a lot of people look at my page and think that I am a vegan, but I'm not vegan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought the same thing. People. Damn it.
I'm not surprised that people do think that, but I would call myself plant-based. So 90% of my diet probably comes from plants. The one thing that I will have from time to time is oily fish, because it has got, despite the slight inflammation that it does cause in your body, with fish it isn't as much as red meat and poultry. Causes a little bit of inflammation, but the benefits in terms of brain health, the omega-3s, the oils are great for you. It's also got vitamin D in it, so that I will have from time to time for those benefits. So I would say I'm plant-based.
Great. Yeah, because on days where I'm vegetarian, so for example, we're just coming out of Kandasasti, for example, on the days that I'm vegetarian, I actually sometimes do struggle to find alternative, because I'm now on a high protein diet and stuff. So most of my protein on a normal basis, on a normal day, will come from eggs, chicken, salmon, etc., etc. So actually, this last week, I probably would have been trying to embrace the whole vegan thing, but I've been eating a lot of tofu, cottage cheese and things like that, whatever. And actually when I started it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but you sort of get into the habit of it, and I actually felt cleaner. I think, I didn't feel like I was using a lot of oil and things like that. So in terms of in terms of plant-based, if someone was going to make that change, where would they start? Because from someone who's eaten meat for their whole lives, like you said, 25 years, say, to suddenly just change, where would you start? How would you go about it? What's your sort of advice?
Yeah. So I would say firstly, education. So watching documentaries, reading about veganism, how to implement it in your life, and really knowing and understanding why you want to proceed with that kind of lifestyle, so knowing that for your health. And really knowing that because there's so many trends that are being pushed around, there's keto, there's high protein, like you said, you need to really believe in the diet, I say that quotation marks, diet or the lifestyle that you're proceeding with, and really believe in it, because I feel like a lot of people take it on because it's a new trend and they want to try it, but they don't fully want to throw themselves into it. So I'd say, firstly, really understand, appreciate why you're doing it, and then look into how you're going to implement it. So recipes, follow certain people on Instagram to keep you motivated, and then also preparation, because you need to make sure that you have, good, tasty, wholesome vegan things in your fridge. So things like tofu, chickpeas, hummus, the grains, rice, loads of vegetables. You need to make sure you have that in your household, because if you don't, and you've got parents that cook meat in your house, it's going to be very easy when you're tired after work and someone just made you a meal. Go for that. The biggest thing when I've tried to go vegan previously, because of my tiredness, my laziness, my lack of preparation, I haven't stuck to it because I've been tired and I just wanted to put anything in my mouth, because preparation is the most important thing, and then to follow people that are living the kind of lifestyle that you want to incorporate. Your knowledge up on why you're doing, for example, veganism or whatever diet you decide to go ahead with.
Great, because I think that's what most of all of us struggle with, is actually the biggest influence is our parents, and then especially on a day we've had a really, really long day. Actually, it's just easier just to come into the kitchen and Amma's made some curries and you're like, I just have it. It's just the one day, right? We always use that excuse, and then one day becomes two and two becomes three, and then there we go. It's kind of gone, basically. I think you're so right. I think it really depends on, you have to really put your mind to it, and you have to put your full full self into it, really, to believe the cause and stuff like that. And actually, again, like, research is everything. You talked about like videos and things like that. Is there anybody that you specifically recommend? Any Instagram pages that you recommend? Obviously, apart from yours.
In terms of documentaries, so like I've said, The Game Changers, What the Hell, Cowspiracy, those are all good documentaries. There's more out there, I can't remember. In terms of Instagram pages, Avant-Garde is a YouTuber that I really follow. He comes up with some great vegan recipes. There's also the Happy Pear, but I don't actually follow particular pages or YouTubers. What I tend to do is if I want to, experiment with a particular type of recipe, I'll just search that into the Google search box.
I do the same as well. Yeah,
apple pie or vegan, whatever, and whatever seems interesting, I'll click on it and have a look. And on Instagram, I'll do the same. So just put it in the search bar and see what comes up. Because there are loads of us out there now, because it is becoming quite a trend, or people are really getting into it. So there's loads to choose from.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so in terms of sort of your top 5 tips, I suggest like general health. What are the things that we all should be doing in a day? It doesn't have to necessarily be nutritional health, but just generally in terms of a day, what should we all be doing that you found worked for you and actually something that you've learned over time?
Okay, so firstly, I'd say in terms of diet, incorporate as much whole foods, so that's whole fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, whole foods into your diet as much as you can, and try to eliminate things that are processed. So sugary foods, cereals, cakes, all of that jazz. We don't want that. But not to be too strict on yourself. Obviously, you can allow yourself something now and then. So I like to live by the 80-20 rule. So 80%, 90% of my diet, what I want it to be, but I still do allow myself to have those, little treats from now and then.
Yeah. And I think people forget that. I at one point when I'll be honest, I did it for 6 months and I was like, never cheat. And I was like, I hated it. I freaking hated it. I was like, I want that cake and I can't have it. And I hate myself. It's just like that. It's really, people forget it all the time. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Never restrict yourself. Never feel like you're restricting yourself, because when you restrict yourself, all you can think about is that thing that you're restricting yourself from. So one thing I'd say is, okay, don't keep those junky foods in your household, but if they are there for some reason, because someone's come over with some chocolates, don't restrict yourself, because you're going to be thinking about that the whole time. You don't have it that often. So you kind of put it on a pedestal in your mind. Just allow yourself treats now and then if you're at a social setting to, have what someone else has cooked for you with love. Like, I think, not be too strict with yourself, because that's when, quite negative relationships are built with food. That would be my first tip. Second tip would be sleep. I know this is said a lot, but it's so essential. When you're sleeping well, that translates into all aspects of your life. You do better at work, and you make better choices. Even your hormones are better regulated, so the hormones that regulate your hunger and your satiety. Sleep is so essential, so that would be my second one. Third, stay in contact with people. So I think social health is very important. I make it a thing to always call someone every single day, to connect with someone every single day, because
that's good. I've never heard that. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yeah. It's easy to lock yourself inside, isn't it? Sometimes, especially in a time where, we're in lockdown and it's been a somewhat crappy year for most of us, we always forget to, we just be like, oh, it's just easier to hide behind a screen. But, good old fashioned talking hurt nobody.
It's actually very positively correlated with good health to have that connection with people. We are social animals. We do thrive off each other, off each other and everything. So I feel like connection every single day is very important. That can be a voice note to someone that you love, helping someone out, or talking to your parents from time to time.
100%.
That would be my third one. Fourth one, activity, to exercise. Anything about exercise, whether that's lifting weights in the gym or just dancing around the room. Number 5, I'm a big fan of green tea and lemon.
Okay.
Just fluids, and I like to think that I follow an anti-inflammatory diet, which is including as many anti-inflammatory things in my diet as possible. To just keep that damage within my body as low as possible, and green tea is incredibly high to incorporate into your lifestyle when you're working.
Good. Because I think you've covered it quite well in terms of, not only nutritional health, but also the sort of social aspect and things like that. And like I said, before, wellness and health comes in so many different forms, and actually people think it's, it's the misconception that it's only about your body and it's only about the food that you eat. But no, social, financial, there's all things that we will consider, because technically wellness is just about how well well, I don't want to say how well, but like,
still, yeah,
isn't it? So like, it's, and that feeling is to do with things around you, people around you, problems that you're having and things like that. And we all forget it. We all get wrapped up in, the world of work or careers or education and whatever it is. So I completely agree.
As you were saying that, I do want to add another kind of tip, which is self-talk, which is something that I've kind of incorporated this year through lockdown. So how we speak to ourselves. So affirmations is something that I've started doing, which is talking to myself more, telling myself that, what, you are strong, you are brave, you look after yourself, and telling yourself what you are and what you want to be. I found to be so effective.
Okay.
So your self-talk and thinking about what you're telling yourself subconsciously and the words that you put out.
Again, I think that's a very good point. But I think, it's sometimes it is hard. Like, as a human, we do find it hard to always, be positive and stuff. But that's not what self-talk is about. Sometimes you can actually be like, today I do feel a bit shit, for example. How can I overcome that? And you've just got to be realistic about the situation, but try to be as positive as you can and stuff. And again, this year's been hard for everybody, but if you want to, I don't know, talk to yourself in front of a mirror or record a voice note to yourself or to write something in a book, like all those things help. We shouldn't forget to look after ourselves by telling ourselves that. Thank you. That's really been helpful for me. Like, even for me, like there's so many things I didn't even know. Yeah. And like I said, there's just things like you just forget that, pick up the phone to someone and, there's no such, nothing beats going for a walk with someone or, like just, the old fashioned things that we forget, like, things like that. So. Great, cool. So thank you so much. I've really appreciated your time. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more recipes, more tips and tricks. I love the way you do like, different tips and stuff. It's not just, it's just you've written them down. Like I love the videos. It makes it way more interactive and way more fun. So
that's something that I try to be more engaging.
yeah. Because it also makes it fun for you. It makes it fun for everyone else. So that's really good.
So I would say, so this is just a random song that I've recently come across. It's called Saria Tappa. I probably said that really bad.
No, Saria Tappa, that's fine. No, that's fine.
It's by Sophia Atara. So she's someone that I've recently come across as well, and I just really love all of her music and the music videos. I don't know who's doing her videography, but they're just really fun to watch. So yeah, I would recommend that song by her, the Tamil song. It's from IS2. Love that song. Yeah, so I would say that song.
Thanks again. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel and also follow me on Instagram at brownandbougie__. I hope you all have a great day wherever you are and don't forget to tune in next time. See you soon. Bye.
உன்னை எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்குண்டி குறும்பு தனம கள்ள திருப்பு உனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்குண்டி நாங்க மீட் each otherன்னு சொல்லுற லவ் இஸ் தான் நிஜமா எனக்கு தெரியல உன்னை பார்த்ததில் இருந்து நாம வேற யாரையும் பார்க்கல தாமா லவ் அப்ப சைட்டில் விழுந்தவன் நாம ஒரு கைட்டில பறக்க விட்டாமா நாங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் ஒன்னா மடியில இருந்து பேசுவோமோ ஓஹோ கிட்டவா உன் காதோரமா ஒரு ரகசியம் சொல்லணுமோ அடி உன்னை மட்டும் நான் நினைச்சேன் என்னையும் மாத்தி புட்டேன் காதலன்னு பேரில தான் என்ன நீயும் ஒரேடியா சாட்சி புட்ட
சரியா தப்பா சரியா தப்பா சரியா தப்பா சரியா தப்பா சரியா சரியா தப்பா சரியா சரியா தப்பா சரியா சரியா தப்பா
மறுபடி எனக்குள்ள குழப்பம் உன்னை கண்டதால ஏதோ ஒரு தயக்கம் ஆனாலும் எனக்குள்ள விருப்பம் ஒவ்வொரு நொடியும் உன்னோட பிடிக்கும் நெஞ்சுக்குள் வலியடி நீ தான் மருந்தடி என் முன்னே வந்தால் என்னென்னமோ தோணுந்தடி என் காதல் உன்னிடத்தில் மெல்ல மெல்ல கூறி நெண்டி இஷ்டம் என்றால் என் தோளில் நீ சாஞ்சு சரியா இல்ல தப்பா பேபி are you ready-யா என் கூட வரியா என்ன சொல்ல நெருக்காலம் தேவையில்லை இருவரும் ஜோடி சேர அதங்கார ஓரத்தில் முத்தங்களா பரிமாற முத்தம்னா என்ன தெரியல கெட்டப்பண்ணா என்ன தெரியல we take it slow baby just me and you baby inch by inch இந்த முத்தம் என்ன கொள்ளுதடே
മൊത്തത്തിൽ ദേഹത്തിൻ ചൂടേറിയല്ലോ മന്ത്രാതി മന്ത്രം ചൊല്ലി ആശകൾ പൂത്തുവല്ലോ വീഴൽ കണ്ടു മുട്ടിയപ്പോൾ കനവിൽ